Hi there, welcome to Island Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Pisces energy. And, everybody taps into Pisces energy. And if you harness high vibe Pisces energy, you have hope and faith and belief in your dreams, and you listen to your intuition and love to guide your decisions versus like your fear and your insecurity or your pride or your ego, you probably want to hang out with other people who are on the same page as you. And the people who, people who harness a more worldly or shadowy Pisces energy, they could be caught up in the illusion of the world or indulging themselves in whatever they think will make them happy in place of love. Or they're people who kind of live in fantasy land. Anybody can have any idea they want of what the perfect relationship is like or workplace. And some people just don't have a clue. So let's go see what's going on in Pisces energy. We start out with a card not showing itself. And the reason it came out is because of the Page of Swords. So the way I'd interpret this is some people do have that hopeful, believing spirit. Other people are kind of immature in their thinking, logic, and reasoning, and have some lessons learned in life. We've all got lessons to learn. Have we healed? Have we grown? Have we matured? Have we learned how to maintain balance within ourselves and maintain balance in relationships? Do we treat other people the way we like to be treated? Some people, the pages in shadow, I interpret as people who could be just immature or codependent. And they could be looking for someone to kind of indulge them in relationships. They harness this energy in a shadowy way and they don't want people to know it. And high vibe people have that hopeful, believing spirit, which some of the people who are more worldly or immature can't understand how you keep having that more hopeful, believing spirit. And the reason is because you harness this energy in a high vibe way. The Four of Pentacles, Capricorn energy. Some people, the Four of Pentacles, Capricorn's an earth sign energy. Some people, they hide the fact that there's this old foundation, a way of living life that they want to hold on to. It could be the world. My truth is the world. I build my ego and my sense of self-worth off of the world, how I think the world perceives me, maybe based on how attractive I am, how much money I have, how much power I have, how much status clout I have. And that can be their truth, that their truth is the world, but they don't want people to know that they're much more motivated by the world than love, or money than love, or their fear or their insecurity, because the Four of Pentacles can be, where you're holding on to this way of being and you're afraid of letting it go. And some people have a way of viewing life, which can be that they think people should indulge them in their more immature ways of being, and that's the way they like to live their life. But of course, they don't want people to realize that. The other people have learned lessons in life to not work with people like this. And they're holding back from people who are like that because they've already seen the truth of those types of people. And shadowy Capricorn is represented by the devil. High vibe Capricorn, I view as the King of Pentacles. The high vibe people have done work and effort within themselves to heal and grow and mature. And that's the foundation they're holding on to. The other people are holding on to their more worldly view of life. And so, again, we live in a world of duality. So if there's people who are emotionally mature and loving and stable and grounded and healing in their King of Pentacles energy, there's other people presenting themselves, because that's also what Pisces energy is about, is trying to create this illusion about who you are. And some people try to present themselves as being a much more emotionally mature, stable, grounded person than they really are. And so they also are trying to present themselves probably as harnessing high vibe Capricorn energy, but they really are operating more out of based on what they think is just and fair. And right now, that's how they view life, that it's maybe more about the world or more about themselves or more about ego and image. And that's fine. It's just that for every because we have free will, we have to be given choice. That means duality has to exist in the world. So for the people who are emotionally mature and stable and grounded, there's equally going to be people who try to present themselves as being just like those type of people, but what drives and motivates them is not the same. But they can look and appear and present themselves as being like that. But once you get in relationships with them and you find out, when things come up, the decisions they make, the high vibe people have learned these lessons. They temper their fears, they temper their insecurities, they temper their ego. They've learned these lessons in life. They offer love and compassion and understanding and act in mature ways. And the other people will be triggered more by their fear, their insecurity, their lust, their greed, their immaturity, their selfishness, their ego. And that's when you find out that you kind of operate from different foundations. And some people who are familiar with each other could be both holding back from each other because you view life differently. And the people who know that they're more motivated by the world or being indulged, and the people are holding back from the people who want to do love because they don't want to live their life that way. I can get hurt doing love. I would have to learn lessons in life, grow or heal or mature myself. I'd have to move forward in life differently. I'd have to be willing to deal with these truths that make me live my life this way versus being more open to giving and receiving love and growing up and maturing myself. And the high vibe people don't want to be in a relationship with the people in their life who they already know aren't willing to do that and make the free will choice not to live their life that way. And that's what high vibe energy is about, is I see the truth. I deal with the truth. I'm not, in my Pisces energy, going to get caught up in illusion and fantasy land about someone. If they show me the truth of who they are, I'm going to deal with the truth of it. Changing someone's foundation of what they hold on to as being their truth, that's very hard to change. People are the way they are for a reason, and the life experiences they've had and the growing and maturing that they've done, we don't learn lessons overnight. It takes time. So, other people realize that. And, just to learn one lesson, like, I'm going to quit my negative self-talk, because the Four of Pentacles can be like fear and insecurity. That can take years of people getting out of the habit of aligning with their more fearful, insecure nature to free themselves from it, to love and believe in themselves and stand in their truth. And on top of that, people might have more lessons to learn. I have to quit being more immature or thinking things should be all about me, or, kind of look at life from a different perspective. And I think high vibe people are standing in their truth, and the people who view life the way they view it, that's their truth. And everybody is going to go live their life the way they want to live it. And we also probably want to defend and hold on to people in our life that we think are on the same page as us. So they could be holding on to different jobs, different friends, different relationships in their life because they view life differently. So then we have the Empress card, Two of Swords, the World card, the Queen of Wands, the King of Cups, the Eight of Cups, and the Three of Wands. And the reason all these cards came out has to do with the Virgo Hermit card. High vibe people, the truth sets us free. It's our own Virgo energy that goes within to see the truth. What have I not been seeing the truth of? Why are some people not moving forward with me? Well, they might not be moving forward with me because I want, in high vibe energy, to give birth to something new. The feminine figures in tarot can talk about how we think and feel. So the high vibe people are ready to give birth to something new. We all repeat certain patterns and ways of being in relationships and living our life and viewing life until we've come into some insight, some understanding. We've kind of learned what we've needed to learn from a certain phase of life, that I'm ready to give birth to something new. And that can be why some people are holding back from some other people in the world because they don't want to give birth to something new. They want to keep moving forward the way that they have been moving forward. And the high vibe people have done some of this inner work because in order to give birth to something new, to live our life differently, like step out of our comfort zone, we have to be willing to face some of our fears and insecurities and self-limiting beliefs. And the high vibe people have gone within to deal with those issues. Why am I clinging to this old way of being? Why, or this job, or this relationship, or this friendship? Why am I not willing to step outside my comfort zone? And people did that work within themselves and in their Libra Taurus energy of the Empress energy. Taurus has to do with our philosophy of life and how we view ourselves in the world and how we view ourselves in relationships, how we view other people in relationships and friendships and workplaces. High vibe people want to get the justice they deserve. And in order to get the justice we deserve, we need to keep moving forward, kind of growing and maturing ourselves, just like we did from age 15 to age 18 to age 21 to age 25. And the high vibe people don't want to keep repeating an old pattern of a way of living life because it gets old and stagnant and stale. Like there's nothing new to learn there. It isn't challenging you to grow and face your fears and believe in yourself, you know? We stay in a comfort zone because it's comfortable. We know everything what to do there. It's like old hat. And so the high vibe people have done this work to look at their own philosophy of life, what they think is just and fair, to temper their fears and their insecurities, to get balance within themselves. Because previously we could have kind of been tipped out of balance, and if we stayed in a certain situation too long or living our life a certain way, it can kind of, the fear or the insecurity or the self-limiting beliefs can get bigger and bigger because we're resisting change. And when high vibe people starts to build within them, they want to do this work. They're motivated and inspired to do this work to get rebalanced within themselves. And it's like, why do I have these fears and insecurities? Why do I have these self-limiting beliefs? And they do this work within themselves to get balanced within themselves and listening to their intuition to guide them. And their intuition is telling them it's time to close out an old cycle, that we've learned the lessons we were meant to learn from that phase of life and some of the people we could have been dealing with. And especially if some of the other people are hiding the fact, harnessing these energies in a shadowy way. Shadowy Virgo can be people who are trying to hide that they want to give birth to us staying stuck. It's like, no, I want you to keep staying in this job. Yes, there's no room for advancement. No, we're going to keep being immature and defensive or prideful or egotistical, but we want you to keep staying here. We hope you keep not working through your fears and your insecurities, and we hope you keep staying stuck. Because they keep staying stuck. They keep not willing to go within to figure out, why do they harness these energies in a more shadowy way? Why aren't they willing to look at some of their issues? Why aren't they willing to deal with some of their fears, their insecurities, their self-limiting beliefs, their kind of prideful or defensive nature? And if they don't want to do that work, it's kind of like in shadow, the Empress can be about somebody who wants to be indulged in a relationship, whether this is how they think and feel. It doesn't matter if they're male or female. Some people like to be indulged in workplaces, friendships, and relationships, and they don't want to see the truth of it. And then when they get in relationships with other people, they're kind of immature, not willing to grow up, not willing to detach from some old ways of being to move forward with people. Because after the Four of Pentacles, if we see the truth, is the Five of Pentacles, where we detach from an old way of operating in the world to learn some lessons in life, to add to our philosophy of life and how we view the workplace and friendships and romantic relationships. And we're willing to move forward, but some people are unwilling to do that. I like doing life like this. I like being maybe just a shadowy Libra Taurus energy that people can harness regardless of what zodiac sun sign they are, is that their truth is more about the world. Because the Four of Pentacles, Capricorn, Earth sign energy, shadowy Libra, Taurus can be, I'm kind of more about the world. I'm kind of more about being inspired by things of the world, making my life about money or materialism, or me being indulged. And I don't maybe want to see the truth that maybe I am materialistic. Maybe I am kind of more about those things than love. But they might like having people who work for them or friends with them or romantic relationships with them who harness this energy in a more high vibe way. That's great. I'm glad that you're not petty or envious or jealous or prideful or egotistical or stubborn like me. I like being in relationships with people who are insightful and balanced and loyal and committed and loving and warm. That works for them. And then they want you to stay stuck in the workplace or relationship with them. And for a long time, people can be loving and encouraging to people like that. But eventually, we have to see the truth that these people aren't willing to do the inner work to ever give birth to anything new. They want to keep staying in denial of the truth. So then high vibe people realize they can't keep hiding their truth. And the truth is they want to give birth to something new emotionally. And they have to do this work within themselves to put an end to kind of trying to keep being loving and supportive, maybe to people who kind of wear a false mask, who, because the kings can represent how people present themselves in the world and with it, and it can be more operating from ego. And we could have gotten in workplaces and relationships with people who present themselves as these loving people, family people, but they're operating more from shadowy Leo energy emotionally, where they're more operating from ego to try to get people to keep moving forward with them because it works for them. It would seem like their dream came into reality, but they're hiding from the truth. That as relationships and workplaces go by, people are supposed to learn and grow and mature themselves. Some people don't want to see the truth about that. No, 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 no. They want to put an end to harnessing these energies in a high vibe way. I don't want to be more authentically myself. I don't want to listen to my heart and intuition and love to guide my decisions. I want to keep operating from my ego and wearing my false mask. And I want you to keep moving forward with me. I don't want to walk away from this more worldly or egoic or emotionally defensive way of living life. That's not my dream. My dream is to keep being indulged, staying in denial of the truth. I want other people to put an end to loving and believing in themselves and believing in their dreams. And I want them to move forward with me and keep moving forward with me, not doing the inner work, continuing to operate from their ego or their fear or their insecurity. I want them to keep being loving, and I want them to keep loving and encouraging me to love and believe in myself, because that's the dream relationship I've dreamed of. It's so people who are kind of shadowy, whatever that could be, bossy, controlling, selfish, don't really like to give of themselves, don't like to grow or heal or mature themselves. They like to be in relationships with people who have freed themselves from all those things, because it's great to be in relationships with people who are like that. That's them indulging in a relationship with someone who's insightful and wise and nurturing and loving and warm and inspiring. But the person who is like that and has all those good traits and qualities and characteristics is in a relationship with someone who's like them. Well, that's an injustice, right? And so eventually, high vibe people try to love and encourage other people for them to love and encourage themselves and love themselves and believe in themselves, to put an end to staying in denial of some truths and for them to do this work within themselves. But eventually, if those people aren't willing to do that work within themselves, eventually the high vibe people don't want to work with those people anymore. and they listen to their intuition. That from a place of love, I feel like I've offered people love and encouragement. They're not willing to move forward with me, and I have a dream. 2 cards, 9 of Cups, Pisces energy, 3 of Wands, Aries energy. I have a dream that I want to have come into reality. And I do love and believe in myself enough to believe my dreams can come into reality. And if I know people in the world who harness this energy in a shadowy way, and that apparently is the free will choice of what they keep choosing to align with, wanting to give birth to staying in denial of the truth that would enable them to detach from those old ways of being and move forward with me, but they refuse to kind of illuminate the truth, because Leo energy is also represented by the Sun card. You have to be willing to illuminate the truth that was hidden. Deal with the things that you are keeping hidden, and you'd have to take action in truth and love. And some people are unwilling to do that. It's like, no, I do not align with my high vibe Leo Cancer energy. I don't want to see the truth that I'm more worldly focused, and I operate more from my worldly, shadowy Leo Cancer energy. I operate more from my ego, my worldly nature, my prideful nature, my materialistic nature, my emotionally defensive nature. I think I should be indulged in a relationship. I think I'm all that for some reason. And I think I should just be able to wear my false mask. So long as I present myself as loving to people that I'm in a relationship with, and I present myself as a loving family person out in the world, that should be good enough. And that's how I want to keep living my life. And they think if they keep moving forward in that way, in their more worldly, shadowy Pisces Aries energy, that their dreams are going to come into reality. This is what makes them happy, is to live their life like that. And they think, that's the way people should live life. Align with your more worldly nature, or align with it more being about you and being indulged, because shadowy Aries can be just about the self. I want to indulge myself, and myself wants to give birth to staying in denial of the truth. I don't want to see the truth that I might be kind of manipulative or prideful, that I might wear a false mask, that I might like to be indulged in a relationship, that maybe I am kind of immature, maybe I am not willing to grow or mature myself. Maybe I am codependent and I want to be in a relationship with other prideful, codependent people in the world who make their life about the world. And I think the high vibe people are like, that's fine. You can live your life like that. I'm leaving. I'm going to go find another job, another friend, another romantic relationship. I'm going to keep believing in my dreams. And some of the things that people could have had to walk away from that they previously could have defended, because we're all drawn and attracted to certain people because we have lessons to learn from them. And initially, we could have thought we were on the same page, but that's the thing. Some people kind of create an illusion about who they are. Oops, I got a thing on my phone. Some people create an illusion about who they are. They were like, oh yes, I'm willing. I have that hopeful, believing spirit. Let's give birth to something new. And then they try to get someone to give birth to something new in the world, like get in a relationship with them or take that job or get married. And then they hope that they'll, all these phases of work and relationships and romantic relationships take time. People were hiding that I'm not willing to change, basically. I have this way of viewing life. I'm not telling you the truth of that. I'm going to give you this impression that I'm willing to give birth to something new with you. So then you get into this new venture of whatever it is. And for a long time, you don't know the truth of them. And for some of them, that's what they're counting on. Wanting to be with someone who doesn't know the truth of them. And you get in a relationship with them, you're moving forward, maybe in the world. You have this new beginning. The one person is harnessing these energies in a high vibe way. High vibe Leo, Cancer, Pisces, Aries, being loving and encouraging and supportive and wanting to bring the dream into reality. And the other person is still operating more from their emotionally defensive, egoic nature, kind of presenting themselves as being like they're on the same page as you, but it's kind of wearing a false mask. And they're kind of indulging themselves in the relationship because it works for them. And so long as you don't ever see the truth that they're hiding, that it just might be more out of ego and image and money and materialism, or them being indulged, it works for their ego and image, being in a relationship with people who are loving and warm and stable and supportive and loyal and all that. It works for them. But when it gets to be where, the other people, the high vibe people, start to do work on their own issues, we've all got some fears and some insecurities and self-limiting beliefs that we kind of been dragging around with us for a while. Well, high vibe people are kind of motivated to dump the baggage. And so then they start doing this work within themselves to work through their own fears and insecurities and self-limiting beliefs that they might have carried around for the last 5 years. And they kind of free themselves of it. I've worked myself through it. Whatever kind of baggage I kind of had a hold on me before, could even be things from childhood. My worth, my value, do I love myself? And maybe getting out of more codependent energy. We could have all gotten in relationships with people and we were kind of all more in codependent energy. We've all been children before where we had people we were in relationship with, like our parents and family members and extended family, that we kind of looked to emotionally fill us up and make us feel stable and grounded and love and encourage us. And that's like a pattern of relationship we can keep repeating until we learn to kind of love and believe in ourselves and kind of take over that role within ourselves of, I have learned how to be my own best mother, father, coach voice in my head. I have worked through some of my issues of the past, of my fears, of my codependency, and kind of being more codependent on other people to fill me up emotionally or validate my worth and value. I have learned that I have value regardless of what the world says. I'm my own unique, creative, inspired individual, and the most important person who needs to love me is me. Because otherwise I keep staying in codependent energy, looking outside of myself for outside validation. And they could have found themselves in relationships with people who do continue to keep looking to the world outside of them, or a different foundation that they hold on to that they're really unwilling to detach from. And that could be their original family, their friend group, or the world at large, that I look to those people still to fill me up emotionally, to make me feel, validate my worth and value. And they haven't learned to love themselves, and they haven't dealt with some of their issues of the past to get more stable and grounded within themselves so they can get out of. High vibe energy is about being free. 9 of Cups, being emotionally independent. I am emotionally independent from my own fearful, insecure, egoic nature, feeling like I need to hide the truth of who I am. I have learned to love myself. I have learned to listen to my intuition and believe in myself and believe I can fill my own cup, and that my dreams are different than other people's dreams. And I'm not going to make my life about conforming to the world because I'm afraid they're going to judge me. That's part of the illusion. The world is going to judge you anyway based on what kind of people they are. That I deserve to live my own authentic life, shine my own authentic light, do and pursue the things from a place of love, the things that really light me up and that I really enjoy. Like, other people can maybe keep jobs that they don't like and go into professions they don't even like and reject taking jobs and professions they really would enjoy because it maybe doesn't have enough of the status or the image. God is the kind of the one who makes those things work out for you to figure out how they'll make money. If you have some hope and faith and belief that you have more things to work with than just the things of the world. We kind of live in a magical universe. God, life-giving energy, wants to create new things. Look at all the things that we've created into existence from the time we were caveman people. It's because people listened to their intuition. They were given unique talent, skills, and interests. If they're willing to maintain balance and not get tipped into their more worldly view or their fearful nature, if they listen to that intuition, which is like life force energy, which was given to us as a gift, our intuition, just like all the other animals in the animal kingdom, and we're part of the animal kingdom, have their unique things. They don't question it. They listen to it. Bats have sonar. Birds and butterflies, even though they've never flown to a warmer climate in their lifetime, when something tells them it's time to leave here, I think the weather's going to turn colder, they go fly for 3 days. It's really amazing. If you were to look it up in like North America, my butterfly migration to Mexico. The butterflies that were born up in a warmer climate have never even been there, but they all make it back there, to the same place. This one place, like in Mexico, is really amazing. They don't question it, but we as human beings, we, in our pride and ego, could kind of reject. You could look at the Four of Pentacles as gifts and talents that we've been given. And some people reject those things because we human beings in our pride and ego, I know better. My intuition and my gifts and talents might be things I have, but I know better. And so they could think, nope, I'm going to do these things that I think will surround me with luxury in life, or I'm going to maybe reject love and make my life more about indulging in these things of the world. I'm sure that will make me happy. And I think those people have some hard lessons to learn in life. And some of the other people in the world have already learned those lessons in life. But kind of back to the story, I think some people, when they were in those kind of a mismatched relationship, they did this work within themselves to love and believe in themselves, to not want to be in a more codependent relationship. I don't want to feel like you're the teacher and I'm the student. You're the parent and I'm the child. I don't want another parent figure in my life. I want someone who respects that I'm my own creative, inspired individual, that I love myself and I'm in the driver's seat of my own life and I have my own dreams. And so then, the goal is to get two people who are emotionally independent, know how to fill their own cup emotionally, know how to validate their own worth and value, know how to do this inner work within themselves to get out of their fears and their insecurity and their ego and their defensive nature and their me nature, to work cooperatively with people from a foundation of love, where everybody can be authentically themselves, let their more hopeful, believing inner child out to play, because they're both operating from love. I don't have to fear that you're trying to manipulate me or control me, because high vibe energy is about people being independent, respecting other people being independent, having that more hopeful, believing nature, being truthful and honest and just and fair, and acting with character and integrity, so you're safe to be yourself. But when people are in more shadowy energy, they still have some issues they haven't freed themselves from. And they could be kind of immature, want things their way, selfish, greedy, prideful, egotistical, want to be indulged, or more about money and materialism. And you just realize that you're operating from different foundations. And high vibe people want two people who are independent to come together in a relationship. So in that overlap area, that's your common ground where you work together, and it can be all the bubbles of people in your world all interlinking, where we respect that everybody's an individual. Everybody has their own unique things that they enjoy in life that motivate and inspire them, and more worldly energy can be where you're supposed to not be unique and individual. You're supposed to toe the party line, conform to the world, live life like we live life. And that makes me think of that Bible verse, don't conform to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And the other people kind of want to keep staying in denial of the truth that they're more about themselves being indulged. I want to hold on to all these things. If I'm fearful, if I'm insecure, if I'm lazy, if I'm petty, if I'm manipulative, if I'm jealous, if I'm materialistic, if I'm egotistical, whatever it is I have as an issue, or some people, because they're still codependent, they're in denial that some people in their life kind of manipulate and control them. Oh, I don't think you should go do that. I don't think you should love and believe in yourself. I don't think you should hang out with those people. I don't think those people have your best interests. And they, in turn, could play on their fear or their insecurity or their pride or their ego. And they don't want to see the truth, because if they saw the truth, they'd maybe have to detach from some people in their life that present themselves as loving to them, but they don't want to see the truth that those people, for their own kind of ego reasons, don't want them to have their dreams come into reality. And part of it could be, well, if I'm living my life like this, I don't want you to love and believe in yourself and go live the life of your dreams, because then I'm back here living life like this. And you had hope and faith and belief in yourself and got in the driver's seat of your life, and you're really having your dreams come into reality. And that would kind of get me in my ego, and I'd maybe be jealous, And so if I'm living my life like this, I'm going to try to make you live your life like this. So, and that's what some people don't see. Who are the people in our life who are loving and encouraging us to believe in ourselves, to love ourselves, to face our fears, to become all we can be? And who in our life tries to get us caught up in our fears or our insecurity? If it's a romantic partner, to tempt us with money and materialism, or lust or greed or immaturity. Who wants us to indulge them? Who doesn't want us to stand up for ourselves and love ourselves? Who doesn't want us to deal with our inner issues and says, oh, you don't have to do that. You don't have to tell the truth. Well, the truth sets us free. Living your life knowing you're not being truthful or honest or authentic about, I think that is your own prison. But some of the people, it's just that they're more worldly focused or self-focused. And because they don't want to see the truth, some other people ended relationships with them. Some creative, inspired, loving, hopeful, believing people left. Some people are just doing that right now. Other people already did this and let go of that foundation, because that's not my truth. This is my truth. And I am going to give birth to something new. And I am listening to my intuition. And I am going to close out an old chapter of my life. It's just like when we have been like the age 15 to 18 to 21, say you get to 18 or you get to 21. I have no interest in going back to living life like I did when I was a 15-year-old. And that's what some people have lived a phase of life that I don't want to live my life like that anymore. I don't want to be in relationships or workplaces with people who act like that or view life that way, or are maybe more immature or selfish or materialistic or stubborn. I've learned what I needed to learn from that life experience to help me get clear about what my truth is. And part of what I could have had to learn from that life experience was to do this inner work to love and believe in myself and get more balanced and listen to my intuition. And then that's the energy they're in the Queen of Wands. I have learned to love and believe in myself and listen to my intuition and be more authentically myself in the world and love myself and realize love is the answer. And I want to operate and take action in my life from a place of love. And I like being a loving, encouraging person, but I want to also be in relationships with people who are on that same page. Those are the people I want to move forward with. Those are the people my dream can come into reality with. And I'm going to communicate to the people in the world who I think have gotten in the driver's seat of their own life, taken the reins of their dualistic nature from a place of love, because the Chariot card is Cancer energy, that I want to communicate with the people in the world who have done that work to get in the driver's seat of their life. And if I did communicate my truth to some people, and those people can't seem to decide if this is how they want to move forward or not, then I wish you peace. No action is speaking loudly. And I'm not going to keep waiting. The Virgo hermit energy can be about kind of waiting in a way to figure out what the truth is. And eventually it gets to be that if other people aren't communicating their truth and taking action towards you, then you're done thinking about it and you're going to keep moving forward, believing in yourself and believing in your dreams. Apparently, we're not on the same page at the same time. Then God must have other people in the world who are on the same page at the same time as me. Maybe we did learn everything we were meant to learn from each other. Maybe, we've got to go on our own journeys. But I can't keep staying. If I'm ready to give birth to something new, I can only sit and wait listening to my intuition for so long. And at some point, the people who did communicate, friends, family, whoever, that want to move forward with me in this more hopeful, believing, emotionally balanced, loving way, those are the people that I'll be working with. And the people who can't decide if they want to reveal the truth and take action into loving themselves and being more emotionally independent and being more bold and brave and confident in the world, well, then maybe, you need to hang out with some people who are kind of more on that page with you. And maybe together you can help yourselves move forward in life differently. But the high vibe people are moving forward with or without people. Some of you could be having, this is could be, this here is Libra, can represent Libra energy, air sign energy. This card represents Libra energy partially. After the World card, we have the Queen of Wands, the Page of Wands, and the Three of Wands, which is fire energy, which can be aligning with your more creative, inspired, hopeful, intuitive nature instead of living more from your mind than your heart. So there just might be more people that are doing what seems logical and practical for them and is what is currently aligned with their truth. We have a certain truth at certain stages of life because of the lessons that we've learned in life. And some people aren't ready to be more bold and brave and confident and hopeful and believing and listening to their intuition. And some of them never will. Some of them their truth is they maybe keep wanting to be immature and just finding other people who will kind of indulge them in their more immature way of being that will move forward with them because that's their idea of the dream relationship. And if they get in relationships with people who are loving, this whole thing will repeat itself. If they get in relationships with people who are kind of more on the same page as them, well, then maybe they're more on the same page, and then the Chariot card can represent more about ego and image and looking like, look how victorious and successful we are, look how what we gave birth to, look at this new beginning we've had, look at the dream we're bringing into reality. But it is a more worldly based ego and image, or we're living the dream because we indulge ourselves in our more immature nature or our addictions or our ego. You know, we can see all these different people in the world that seem like, again, can look the same in a lot of ways, but who are the people who are really in the driver's seat of their life, have self-discipline within themselves, are authentically loving, inspiring, warm, creative, hopeful, believing people, and who are the people who just try to present themselves as that so people will be in friendships with them, but it's really more driven by the ego or the image and this way of trying to present themselves. But it's kind of like, in a way, either just driven by different things, or some people just trying to create an illusion that they're like other people who are more balanced and loving and authentic, and trying to present themselves as being that type of person, but they're really not. It's all just an illusion so that people will be in relationship with them. What's coming up for the people who harness high vibe Pisces energy? And for some of you, as you're moving forward, some of you could have already gotten in a new relationship. Some of you always could have been in a relationship, and this other person is someone else, it can be a family member, But if some of you weren't in a relationship right now, somebody could communicate with you that they're ready to detach from an old way of living life, and some people maybe in their life to reveal their truth, take action in truth and love, to move forward in a way that they find emotionally fulfilling, and become independent also from an old phase of life, and communicate with you that they want to move forward with you. And if not, it's you doing this work within yourself, and you're moving forward to find the people in the world who are on the same page as you. And it's all part of the process. First, it happens within us. We communicate to other people. High vibe energy is about being a leader in the world. If everybody kept repeating the same old pattern and everybody stayed stuck in just like people could have been stuck in the 1960s, nobody wants to go to the 1970s. God is trying to get people to listen to their intuition because God wants to create the next thing. But I need people to learn the lessons they were meant to learn. And it's not about, it has to be a certain person. It just has to be people who are open to listening to their intuition and bold and brave enough to step out of their comfort zone, to face their fears, so we can bring in the next phase of life. And why do some people really not want to move forward in the next phase of life? Probably people who benefit from it staying the way it was. Well, I like living it this way. It benefited me. I was kind of more indulged. I liked moving forward that way, and I want to keep moving forward that way. And some people are trying to live in a time frame that we've all been there. We've all seen what the good aspects of it were, but some of us have also seen what some of the bad aspects were, and we want to change that. We want to take the good aspects and add our own creative, inspired spin to it, to keep growing it and taking what was good and moving it forward. And the other people are like, what? Oh no, there's nothing bad. No. And they're like people who get stuck in the 1960s, the 1970s, for example, and they refuse to change. And probably because they want to stay in denial of the truth that it requires them to become more independent from their ego or the world, or them having the scales of indulgence kind of tipped in their favor in some way. And they don't want to see the truth of it. So some of them are even willing to let loving people go from their life because they're unwilling to give up this way of living life that kind of benefits them more than some other people in their life. or they don't want to give up their more immature ways or something. What's coming up for the people who harness some high vibe Pisces energy that they might not see coming? Oh my goodness. Okay, we got all these cards not showing themselves, and the reason they came out is because of the Aquarius star energy. The high vibe people are going to have their dreams come into reality because they're looking at life from a higher perspective. They are stepping outside of societal norms to bring needed change. They are not willing to settle for what was when they've already seen that living their life like that made them feel stuck. And they felt like they weren't maybe being authentically themselves, and that they were kind of being manipulated by the world and other people in their life who could have been happy living their life that way, but they weren't finding it emotionally fulfilling. So the high vibe people are willing to move forward from a place of love, listening to their intuition, being bold and brave and confident that I want my dreams to come into reality, and I'm not going to stay living my life in a way or staying in jobs, friendships, and relationships with people where I feel like maybe people aren't being authentic, where people aren't independent, they're codependent, they want me to be codependent. I want to be free to live my authentic life. So, and again, some people don't know how you're doing this. How is it that you're shining so bright in the world when you're maybe not taking action out of pride or ego? And how is it that you keep moving forward, loving and believing in yourself? Well, first, you quit aligning with these energies in a shadowy way. And the people in your life that could have aligned with those in a more shadowy way, I think you wish them peace and love. You spoke your truth. The Page of Swords is like kind of just a simple truth. I want to give birth to something new. And the way I've been living my life has made me feel stuck. So I'm just saying it's not like a harsh thing. It's just a simple, just by maybe just how you even live your life, if not. And it's a small message. I don't want to be stuck anymore. I want to give birth to something new. I want loving, balanced, creative, inspired relationships where people respect that I'm my own unique person, and that I don't like people trying to manipulate and control me. I don't like people kind of presenting themselves as being loving to me, but it's kind of fake. And they might do that because they want to move forward with me for some reason. Maybe it makes them look like an emotionally balanced person. Maybe it makes them look victorious. I want people to move forward with me for the right reasons, not for the wrong reasons. And so they detached from harnessing these energies in a shadowy way, which means they were willing to let the people in their life who could have harnessed these energies in a shadowy way out of their life. And they're harnessing these energies in a high vibe way. So the Four of Swords, the Seven of Cups, the Tower, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles. It's kind of like, what is our dream? What foundation are we going to build our life upon? And some people, again, in like Libra energy, they don't have to be a Libra, it's just what people think is just and fair. They're kind of more about the illusion. Isn't it about me? Or isn't it about the world? Or isn't it about our ego or image? And you find that to be like a false foundation, because if we're not building, that's another Bible verse, if you want to build like a stable foundation, you have to build your foundation on love. Otherwise, you're building a foundation on shifting sand. If it's about them being indulged, well, I found someone else who'll indulge me more in my more immature, lazy, prideful, whatever nature. If it's money, I found someone else with more money, more status, more image. Their loyalty and the reason why they're in a relationship is either about them and people indulging them in their self-centered Aquarius energy, or they're more about the world and looking like a shining star in the world. And if they can find someone where they'd look like they're moving forward more victoriously, have more status, more image, more power, more money, they'll go get in a relationship with someone else because it wasn't built on love to begin with. So they could have let go of relationships with people where they could have had an emotionally mature, stable, grounded, loyal commitment, but that's maybe didn't have enough status or image, or those people weren't willing to indulge them enough in their ego. So they let go of a high vibe. People where people put in work and effort in high vibe, I view the Queen of Pentacles as high vibe Taurus energy, where people really walk the talk. They really are who they say they are. They're loyal, they're committed, they're emotionally mature, they're loving, they're nurturing. They let go of people who are like that because they're more emotionally invested in the illusion. And part of it is because they have some lessons to learn. That there's things that they haven't healed from and they haven't seen through the illusion yet. And they've got to go indulge in those things and learn some painful lessons that having things of the world, or indulging yourself in things of the world, or indulging yourself in your ego, the things of the world are meant to be enjoyed, but they're meant to be enjoyed from a place of love. Because high vibe energy is represented by God, shadowy energy is represented by the devil. And if we're not going out and enjoying the things of the world from a place of love, the things that we try to go invest in place of love, thinking they'll make us happy, the devil's about imprisoning you and enslaving you. And, sometimes people don't get out. And some people are sure those things will make them happy, or being in a relationship where it's all about them, where other people don't love and believe in their dreams and they make their life all about them. They're sure that will make them happy. It's all about me. Or if I have this certain money or status or power. And you just saw the truth that these people weren't on the same page as you. So you could have cut out people who you thought did harness these energies in a high vibe way, but they don't. Libra, Scorpio, Aries, Scorpio, Taurus. Their philosophy of life is completely not on the same page as yours. And what they don't see about you is you've healed. You did do this work to see the truth, to see through the emotional confusion. I was in a relationship with some people that I wanted to hold on to, that I thought I was going to give birth to something new with, that I thought would be my emotional fulfillment, that I thought my dreams would come into reality with, but I wasn't seeing the truth. These people were operating, trying to manipulate me for it worked for them, but they weren't authentically who they said they were. And it was more about them indulging themselves in the relationship, hoping I would keep moving forward in it, maybe being a more codependent, fearful energy or materialistic viewpoint of life. But I've seen the truth. I've seen through the illusion that that's a faulty foundation. And don't want to be in workplaces and in relationships and marriages with people who live their life that way. I've healed from the illusion and I've detached from this old view of life and this old dream. And I have hope and faith and belief in my dreams. And I'm letting go of that old dream to emotionally grow and mature myself, and to want to invest emotionally in other people who are on the same page as me, other people who think there's more to this life than just to be in a relationship because we want to look like we've moved on, just to have a job, whatever the job is, even if I don't like it. It's like, I want to enjoy my life. I want to move forward in emotionally balanced, loving relationships with people. And again, if some of you aren't in those type of relationships, you could have communicated with other people who you think maybe in their Aries energy, who you believe have that same dream as you do. And if some of those people didn't move forward with you, you're still continuing to move forward. I just need to find the people and work with the people and listen to my intuition about the people that I meet and that I currently have in my life and that I work with or will work with, to see who is on the same page. Because it isn't a certain person I need in my life. It's the people in my life that are on the same page. And I think you will have your dreams come into reality because you're no longer investing your time, energy, and effort into people in your life who've already shown you that that's not their truth. It's like, okay, I wish you peace. I'm going to go give birth to my dreams, and you can move forward the way you like to and find people who want to do life the way you want to do it. And some of those people in their Aries energy, that's what they're motivated and inspired by and how they want to live their life. You're looking for the people who are in this high vibe Aries energy, which is people who are leaders in the world, people who emotionally grow and mature themselves, who learn lessons in life, who, when they make decisions in a relationship, they take all factors and people into account that would be affected by their decisions, where the other people kind of make decisions that are best for them. Well, is this good for my ego and image? Are you going to indulge me? What do you have? How successful and victorious do you look? Are you willing to indulge me? How much money do you have? And it's more just about them. And they hide that from the world, that it's really just about them. Okay, what's coming up for the people who harness a more worldly or shadowy Pisces energy that they don't see coming up? Well, some people hold back communicating with us because they don't want to illuminate the truth. And they're hoping if they hold back from people, that people will feel stuck and kind of be in their ego, because it's kind of like using the love that people had for them to try to manipulate those people into doing the relationship the way they want. And some of those people are surprised that people are moving on. People have freed themselves from these people. Because these people don't know this. Some of them are still thinking and putting in work and effort to try to manipulate some loving people in their life to thinking, oh, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to listen to my intuition, and I'm not going to offer you love. And I'm not going to move forward with you the way you want me to move forward with you. And I believe that you will give up on yourself and you'll want to heal things with me. And some of those people don't even realize that some people have already seen the truth of who they are. They're not caught up in the illusion of who they thought they were anymore. They see the truth. And those people learned the lesson, and those people picked up their investment in what they had been invested in, and they're balanced within themselves. And 2 cards of Capricorn in high vibe means that people saw the truth. They put in the work and effort to free themselves. They're harnessing high vibe Capricorn energy. They're not in shadowy energy. Shadowy Capricorn energy kind of represented by the devil. They don't see the truth that some other people have already detached, that those people don't want to be in a relationship with them. Shadowy energy can be being in denial of the truth. Other people gave birth to listening to their intuition. They did this work within themselves. They loved themselves. They believed in themselves. They moved on. And some of these people still don't see the truth of it. They're like still sitting here. Yeah, there you are. I see you looking to have your dreams come in. Looking to have your dreams. I'm just like waiting here for you to view me as a victorious, successful, loving person that you should want to be in a relationship with. And they don't realize that those people have already moved on. And just like when we had lessons to learn, we could have learned some lessons, gotten out of one relationship. We could have communicated with some other people. Those people have moved on. And some of those people have no interest in reconnecting, especially maybe if it's a romantic relationship. They've already gotten in new relationships with other people. And that's the whole thing of there being consequences for our actions and our decisions that we make in life. But if we weren't on the same page as some of those people at one time, and we could have rejected some people, that we didn't become friends with them, we didn't date them, or we got out of relationships with them, or we quit being in a relationship with them, we had to learn some lessons. And if some of the people that we might communicate with, they've already moved on. For others of them, they might have moved on with some people that they found out aren't on the same page as them. And some of those people are willing to let go of some way they've been living life to heal things with you and be in a friendship or relationship with you again. We don't really know, but we speak our truth. This is the pages and high vibe people. We're being authentic and truthful. Initially, you can speak your truth, and some people can kind of turn their back to you because they need to maybe process what you told them about maybe why you could have rejected them before. And they need to work through that to see if they feel like you're telling the truth. And the pages would be very truthful, authentic messages that people are sending. And if those people are free to be in relationships, they will get out of what they've been doing. Maybe they've just been investing emotionally more in their career, and they would be willing to come back and heal a relationship. And just like when some of you are moving forward, some people might want to come towards you, and we just all have to listen to our intuition. Are people communicating with me because the person that really was more on the same page as them walked away, and so now they're still the same immature person they were before, and they want me to get in a relationship with them. Well, some people that you could communicate with could wonder that about you. And so we just have to listen to our intuition, who in our life seems to be, and the people from our past who might communicate with us, the people we might meet and have in our life now, the people we might meet in our future. I think high vibe people have learned to listen to their intuition. And they're not going to make a decision out of ego, because there's consequences for making decisions out of ego. And they know, we'll leave it there. What some people don't see, though, is that some people have moved on. They're moving forward to get in relationships with other people who've learned lessons in life or are more balanced within themselves. And the reason is because they're not aligned with these energies in a shadowy way anymore. With lovers who backstab them, or lovers who live more from their mind than their heart. And they've completed a cycle. We could have had a dream of moving forward with people and working things out. But if the people that we were hoping to do that with aren't willing to detach from whatever they need to detach from, and again, it could be friends or family that they're unwilling to become independent from, their more defensive nature that they love, what do people love? And if people love something that isn't conducive to a dream coming into reality and speaking your truth and being more balanced within yourself and more free, then until those people detach from those things that basically are backstabbing them from living their life this way, the other people have moved on. Another thing they might not see coming is that there might be someone who does want to be in a relationship with them. If it's another loving person, this whole pattern, they're going to have to go through it again and decide if they're still willing to hide from the truth. God gives people many opportunities to see the truth. I kind of think if they rejected loving people, odds are the next one coming up to bat, if love didn't work, they're probably going to have a shadowy person come towards them. After they have a shadowy person come towards them, trying to get them, who's kind of just like themselves, to maybe get them to see the truth. Like, shit, is that how I was in a relationship? Yes. Do you see why people left? And maybe that would wake them up. Then if that person in that relationship doesn't work out, if they still don't want to see the truth, well then, who knows? It'll just keep going back and forth. That's funny. Going back and forth, trying to get them to try to see the truth. God wants people to be free to live their authentic life, to quit staying in denial. You're immature, you're prideful, you're egotistical, you like to be indulged, you need to grow up. Some people are constantly, throughout their life, are going to have people unwilling to stay in a relationship with them because they're unwilling to do love, but they try to hide that from people. They might have someone who wants to be in a relationship with them, maybe more for the status or the image. They'll just try to maintain balance in the relationship because it's not because of love, but it makes logical, practical sense. It would be good for their ego and image. It would look like they gave birth to something new. It would look like they're moving forward victoriously. It would look like their dreams are coming into reality. And if both people are on that same page where I don't really want to do love either, are you more motivated by the things of the world, or is that what you think will make you happy? Have you had people in your life who wanted you to grow up and mature yourself and you don't want to? Me too. Let's work together. Let's present this illusion of how wonderful our life is, and we're both kind of immature and we're on the same page. Perfect. A just and fair relationship. So people realize high vibe people aren't willing to stay in relationships with people who don't want to do love, and they go to find the people in the world who do. And the other people might be willing to be in relationships with people who don't want to do love because they don't want to do love either. You can get hurt doing love. And some people are all about the world and money and materialism. And I think they're going to end up watching the people who worked with other creative, inspired people to bring in their dreams, where they'll look like they're maybe moving forward victoriously in the world, and it'll look and have the appearance of love. I just don't think for those people it will be love, and the other people will have kind of the life of their dreams, being in workplaces, friendships, and relationships with people who are emotionally mature and nurturing, people who aren't trying to confuse them about the truth and manipulate them. So the people who think it's just and fair to create this illusion of how wonderful life is, you let go of those people to get in relationships with people who've seen the truth. So there you go, Pisces energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.